In progress.
Okay, now I didn't add them. So in case you want to create a slab of a property that is similar to the one which you already have, don't go back here to modeling and again click on rip this slab or slab. Just double click on any that you have chosen. Let's say this one. Can double click on this one. It launches the properties. Then you can put it, let's say there, can have it here, can have it here, here. Okay. So yesterday you agreed this supposed to change the direction. So I'll double click on it and then under insertion, change it to 90. You can have it like that. So these other parts of the staircase area, we are putting the solid slab, this point, also under this point. No, I explained it. And I said that beam shouldn't carry rings. The slab beam shouldn't carry rings. I was supposed to change it. So you change it, have it like this. Okay, there are these other balcony slabs this side. So for balconies, we say this, they have an imposed load of 4. So I'll double click on this, then I'll draw them as cantilever. It's a cantilever from this point, that point, and then choose where to have them. So you can have that one there. You can right click and measure the distance of the L cant that we are supposed to have. This is 1.3. So 1.2. Okay. So also this other side, double click on it. Draw from this point to that point. You have that slab there. That is for these two. Then this other last one. Can have it from this point to that point up to there. Then we have this one, which is in the middle. Okay. So we can have from this grid, this grid. Okay. So at this level, you have the columns, slabs, and beams complete. Okay. You all have slabs. All the slabs are that way. Yeah. Okay. We have this as a typical floor plan from first floor up to third floor. So we are going to copy everything that we have here and take it to second and third floor. So I'll select like that. Don't include grids in your selection. You can select all the members that you have here. Hey, before you select, remember we are moving from one level to another. We need to make a review and label our members. Okay. So under review, go to relabel members. Relabel members. Then mark all the structural elements, beams, slabs, and columns. Hit OK. Then after we can select all the elements that we have at this level. When you're selecting, don't include grids. You take only the structural elements. Select all the members. Are we done with the selection? Are we having challenges in selecting the members? So you can make a window selection like this. After selecting the members, we are going to generate these members other stories. Right click on one of the elements that you have selected. Generate members other stories. After selecting, you right click on what you have selected. Okay. We said you select like this from top left to bottom right. Then you right click and choose generate members other stories. So we at first floor, we want to take them to second, you hold down control, and then choose third. Even fourth, you can also take fourth. You choose second, third, and fourth. Yes. Click on second, hold down control key, add third, fourth. Have we selected? Then let's click OK. So if I'm having story 5 as the one which is called, that means the current story here is fourth floor. But at the fourth floor, that is where we have the terrace, roof, terrace floor. So from this grid D, all the other sides, it is an open terrace. Look at this very well. From grid D, here we don't have columns in between. Okay, so from this point here, going this other side, we should have solid slabs. Terraces, we use solid slabs. Okay, so on fourth floor, we are modifying it a bit. We can delete this ribbed slab. Can also delete this ribbed slab, and also delete this ribbed slab. Likewise, this other side, you can delete this ribbed slab. On fourth floor, make sure that you're on fourth floor. Okay, so also delete this ribbed slab. That we are done with deleting those ribbed slabs there. On fourth floor, delete the ribbed slabs which we had added here and here. Then also, we do not have a balcony there. Okay. So also this balcony, let's delete it, including this. Let's delete it. Okay. Now, looking at this part here, this is no longer washroom. It is also part of the terrace. So we need to change its imposed loading. Double click on it. Under loads, where we have imposed load, right click there and choose what? Okay, this part where you have the imposed loading, we are changing that imposed loading to what? At the terrace. We don't know if they will use it for maybe a cafe or restaurant or for holding parties there. You get it? So now this is where using predefined figures of the software becomes a bit difficult. But we can look at okay, you look for a folder which has codes. Among the files which I shared with you, there's a folder which has codes. Open loading to EC2. So according to Eurocode, those figures that you have been choosing for design, some of them are defined in the software, but you may not get correct results there for some of the specific functions of the building. Now, when we are applying our imposed loads for floors, we chose a factor of 2. So this is where it comes from. When you look at page 22, talks about imposed loads for floors, balconies, and stairs in buildings. Okay. Now, category A, when you check page 21, it is areas for domestic and residential activities, which we are looking at right now. So we went with a factor of 2, right? Then stairs and balconies, we went with a factor of 4. So when you're designing, we go with the upper limit, but any value which is between a range of 2 to 4 is okay. Okay. Then we are looking at what value can we apply at the terrace. So we look at category C, areas where people may congregate, with the exception of areas defined under A, B, and D. So C1, areas with fixed tables in schools, cafes, restaurants. This is for churches, theaters. I think you can go with C1. Areas in schools, cafes, restaurants, dining halls, reading rooms, and reception. Okay. So C1, when you look at table 6.2, C1 has a range between 2 to 3. If it is going to be a load per square meter. If it is a concentrated load, you take a factor of 4. Okay. So meaning in proto structure, we'll be going for, I think, now you see here, cafes, restaurants given 2. Okay, so let's go with the 3. We shall take the upper limit. You can use enter value, just type 3 there. Then update. The imposed load. Okay. Where we have imposed load, instead of 2, make it 3. Okay, we have finished change it. Now, let's double click on this slab that we have changed and then put it here, and here. Do the same this other side, put it here, there, and here. After we have changed it, yes, why it shows these lines for roofing? Yes, there's a reason that's why they appear like this. That reason is, we have 2 types of slabs. We have one-way spanning slabs and 2-way spanning slabs. For 2-way spanning slabs, the load transfer is particular in 2 formats. We have triangulation and then trapezoidal transfer. Okay, let me explain it this way. Okay. Now, when you look at the slabs that we have created, you notice that there are some patterns of lines which are there. Now, those patterns of lines, they represent the two types of slabs that we have in a building. We have one-way spanning slabs and two-way spanning slabs. For one-way spanning slabs, if this is LX, and then also this is LY. Likewise, even here, if this is LX, and then Ly, doesn't matter whether what should be Y is X or what should be X is Y, as long as you have the shortest distance and the longest distance, okay? But usually the shortest distance is Lx, okay? Now, if we have a condition where you have the longer span to shorter span, the ratio of longer span, shorter span, if it is greater than, or if it is less than or equal to 2, this is going to be a two-way spanning slab, okay? This is two-way. And for two-way spanning slabs, those are slabs where you find that the distribution is going to be in form of squares. So triangles if it is a square, if the panel is a square, okay? Then it is going to be trapezoidal and triangular if it is rectangular, okay? But rectangular in a way that it doesn't give you a ratio which is greater or equal to 2 for it to be a one-way spanning slab. Like for example, this part here, this is a one-way spanning slab. If the ratio of longer span, shorter span is greater or equal to 2, this is going to be one-way spanning. So for these types of slabs, the load is being distributed in one direction. But for these other types of slabs, you have load distribution, this direction, this direction, this direction, and that direction, okay? Now, why is it like this? For you to compute, if you have to do it from first principles, if you have to compute the magnitude of load from this slab onto this beam, you're going to get this tributary area, get the area of this trapezium, then multiply it by the imposed load. If say that our imposed load for this slab is 4, get the area of this trapezium, multiply it by 4. That is the load that is going to be carried onto this beam, okay? Get the area of this triangle, multiply it by 4, that is the magnitude of load which is going to be transferred to this beam. Now for these ones, just get this area as well, multiply it by the figure of imposed load. That is the load that's going to be transferred onto this beam. Is that okay? Now, after you have changed it to this format, this means that this beam is carrying a load from this slab. For solid slabs, we are constrained to just the way it is. It's not that like for hollow slabs, you're going to change that like the span direction of those ribs. So we are forced to change this into a drop beam. Yes. All this from the whole because I thought we are supposed to do it in that. You know, on the fourth story, that is where you have the terrace. When you look at the plan, this part is the terrace. Here, yes. So story 5 is the fourth floor. If no, okay, in a Prota, when you look at story 5, is fourth. You get it? But then on fourth floor, that's where you have the terrace. Now, remember, we have up to fifth. So at fifth, that's where we shall have the ring beams for part of the structure. Remember, not all the structure is having a roof. Parts of the structure are roofed. Like, for example, here. Only here, this part, that's where you shall have the roof. Where you shall now have ring beams on the fifth floor. You get it? But then below, you have a terrace. You get it? So that is why we are doing all that at the fourth floor level, such that at the fifth floor, we shall just put their ring beams for roofing. Let's change this into a drop beam. Double click on it and change it to 200 breadth by 400 depth. Also, its eccentricity should be 0. Then update. Also, this 200 by 400 depth. Once you update, you find that your slab is no longer reaching up to the face of the beam. So you just need to delete it and then redraw it again. Pick up properties of this and redraw it. Okay. Now, when you look at this area here, we have changed this into a drop beam, right? So that means that you also must have to change the span direction of these ribs. Let's change the span direction of these ribs. to span the shortest distance. So let's have it at 0. Also, this can have them at 0. But for this, do not change. Okay. This is not changing because this is still a slab beam. You get it? If it is a slab beam, it shouldn't carry loads. The moment we change it, that means that these ribs are going to be carried by this beam, which you don't need. And actually here, when I look at this layout, this is a drying area, meaning that it is also exposed. It is also exposed. We need to change it to solid slab. Yeah, we're supposed to have a wall load here. But then based on what is on the layout, this should be a solid slab. And this now this is a laundry area. So a laundry area, we're also going to use a solid slab. Okay. So that means that also here, let's delete that ribbed slab. And this, I think, sinks there. Okay. Showing balcony below, meaning this can be like maybe a pergola or something like that. There's no slab. It's just a part which is left out for like the person to know that we need should be. That's why it's even having a dashed line. So there's no slab here. No, we should delete them. This balcony here, we should delete it. And also these are the balconies. Let's delete all the balconies that we have at that level. No, it should change, but let's not talk. It should change. Okay, this here where I have the terrace, this is a wall load. A wall load, we shouldn't have wall loads there. We should instead have parapet loads. Una parapet wall. Yeah, so we are supposed to have just a parapet wall around these perimeter beams. So let's delete all these, select all these beams, hold down control, select these beams. And choose delete wall load. You select the beam, right click, delete wall load. Select the beam, hold down control to choose multiple beams. Delete wall load. So don't forget to change this into a drop beam. So this can be changed into a drop beam, and then we have the same pattern, just like on the left. So we can just delete it. Delete it. Then redraw it. Yes. Okay, let us have our layout like that. Mm. This wall load. No, this wall load. Let me see. It is this. It is this. No. Let's delete it. Even this. That's how I know. But maybe we can see. That's Okay, let us apply a parapet load. This other side, you select one of the beams, like this one, right click on it. And then edit wall load. We choose the wall that we configured, 200 mm thick from here. Choose 200 mm. And we give it a height of what? A height of 1000. Let us have 1.2 meters as the wall height. 1.2 meters. Okay. So this load that we have added here, you copy it, copy wall load, then paste it on these edge beams, these ones. This, 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 this. Also, we pasted this other side. Have you created that parapet load? Select the beam that you want to create the parapet load on. Let's say this beam. Right click and then edit wall load. In the edit wall load, you choose the wall that you set, 200 mm thick. Then put a height of 1.2 meters. Don't put 1,200. This is strictly a meter. You click OK and then paste that load on these other beams. This beam, this beam, this beam. Paste copied beam loads. So this part, we keep it. Don't put beams, wall loads there. But for this other beam, there must be a load. And then this one. We have finished that. Then let's copy. Let's copy all these members. Can first make a review. Under review, relabel members, click on review, then relabel members. You mark columns, walls, beams, and slabs, and click OK. On grid F, we're supposed to have a wall load here. Okay, because there is a wall here. See this wall here, this wall and this wall. So you must have a wall load here. And also this point here.
Right? This there.
From here to here.
You did the petition open. Oh, yeah. Let's put the terms.
We're supposed to have it. And it's supposed to be a parapet load.
How do we make it stop? You put a code. What do we do to make it?
Receive and this. This wall load should go up here. So, like for this one. H. Select it. Right. Settle like right. So settle like right. Then So let's click on modeling, choose selection filter, click on modeling, then selection filter. Selection filter. You deselect all, you mark columns, beams only. And also slabs. Mark column, beam, and slab. Then you can select everything. You can select everything. We right click and generate members other stories. Put at story 6, which is ring beam. Put at story 6, then click OK. Now, where we have this terrace, we should delete these columns and slabs there. Also this, also that. So where you have the terrace, on story 6, delete these beams and columns plus slabs there because it's open space. I'm keeping this beam and this beam there because this part is closed there. All slabs, you should only have those ring beams at the 6th story. So that marks the end of modeling. So in our next meeting, we shall be doing analysis and design. Then create reports. So in our assignment regarding section A, you have completed it. Section A, creating the 3D model or putting all the structural elements, finding just cross sections, materials, that has been done. Now I'm requesting, is it okay with you for the next meeting for us to start at 2? Is that okay? So we shall start at 2 because what we are left with to cover, most especially when it comes to analysis and design, it's a bit lengthy. Need to at least have like 3 hours. Yes, there's an attendance sheet. Please sign on that attendance sheet.